My name's Eric. I'm the host of Talking with Famous People and History's Greatest Man. I don't talk about it a lot. I don't like to brag about my awards, but I recently got that award. History's Greatest Man. I'm pretty proud of it, I guess. The assumption you might be saying is, well, then, Eric, I'm guessing you're not history's greatest person. It must be a woman who's greater than you. I'm just saying that question's undetermined. That's not the award I got. The award I got was History's Greatest Man. Wildfire update, huh? I thought I smelled smoke out there. I guess the closest fire to us is 30 miles away. That's not too bad. That is not too bad. Rain starting in about 2 hours. What? Rain? Wow, I'm supposed to get a couple stretches of rain today at 6 to 7:30 in the morning and at 7 to 7:30 in the evening. So, not bad. Not bad. That'd be nice if we got a little bit of rain. Just because we don't get that much rain. Well, oh, I don't know what to title this. Urgle. Urgled. Kind of looks like unglued. Urgled 2. Okay. Now let's try this again. Hi, four-wheeler boys. How are you? I'm restarting my laptop because Windows says I need to do something. I need to update my computer. So fine. That's fine, Windows. You do your thing. Meanwhile, I'll go outside and have a Rillo. I need to make a new pot of coffee, though. I'm sipping on last night's coffee right now, and that I'm afraid is just not gonna cut it. All right, so we're gonna make a new pot of coffee. It has been, I think, over a week since I have live streamed. And for me, that's a very long time. I had a rough sleepy week. For those familiar with this channel who know me and my ways, then you'll know that every month I have a sleepy week. Well, this past month's sleepy week was pretty brutal. Normally I get generic Adderall every month. I'm kind of accustomed to that. This last month I got name brand Adderall, even though it was expensive. But that's all they had, and I had to get it that day. Or I was going out of town. I didn't like it as much. I like the generic Adderall better. That's my take on it. The name brand's a little less gacky, but I don't know. I like the harsh up and down of the generic. Hi, Lively Cuts. Lively Cuts, don't drink again. Marcus Aurelius says, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. Why would I want to tell myself that? I mean, I'm not going to really deal with any people today, so... It depends where you live and what your life's like. I used to feel that way when I lived in Los Angeles. Every day was a battle, you know? But I don't feel that way anymore. But, you know, I felt that way then because life was like that, too. I'm a big believer in realism. Not trying to pretend like things are better than they are, but when things are good, there's no reason to pretend they're bad. People around here are pretty happy. It's probably a little too much coffee. Probably still a little too much coffee. But you know what? I've got multiple kinds of creamer to include in my coffee today. I've got your non-dairy creamer, your normal kind, like this. I've got oat milk, and I've got half and half. And I've got regular milk, but we were born to work together like feet, hands, and eyes, like the two rows of teeth, upper and lower. To obstruct one another is unnatural. To obstruct one another is unnatural, huh? I mean, I'd say people are both competitive and cooperative. And it depends on the modality of the thing, you know, as to whether it's a good idea to be competitive or cooperative. Certain kinds of things are best dealt with competitively, others cooperatively. What did I do with my cup of coffee? But that's a thing that a lot of people in life find tricky, is they want to deal in universals with things that don't necessarily universalize. Okay, got the computer updated and restarted. And now I've got the live stream up in the chat up on the big screen. So, you know, that's extra convenient for me and everybody else in the world. So for those of you who missed the beginning of this live stream, I was mentioning how I recently won History's Greatest Man Award. Awarded once a millennium to History's Greatest Man, I, Eric, received that award. Nobody on the committee could explain why they had given it to me, but they did anyway. So it's still very early in the morning. How early? Well, So early. Hi, another majestic guy INFJ. How's it going? So early that it's dark outside still. That's early. Actually, I don't really want to have a cigarette until I get my new coffee. Got a new pot of coffee brewing. Congrats on it being so early. Oh, on my award. Yeah. Thanks. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, unlike the Nobel Prize, it doesn't come with any money. Alright, I'm gonna have to go make myself a new cup of coffee before I smoke a cigarette. I came out here last night, in the middle of the night, sometimes smoke a cigarette, and I didn't turn the light on, it was dark, and I put a full drink right here, and it fell right there. Oh, that was not fun. And I had to wash my feet off. Give me the Jeff Lebowski Award? No, I'm nothing at all like Lebowski. Since when have you ever heard me say that we should abide things? I don't believe in abiding. Abiding sounds like appeasement to apathy. Well, that guy was an idiot, you know? I mean, I'm actually a smart guy. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not full of shit. Just giving off vibes and stuff. As fucking if. I don't know where people got this notion that I'm easygoing and, hey everybody, let's all just meow. No, I'm the most correct person in the world. Accordingly, I'm one of the most frustrated people in the world because being the most correct person in the world means everybody else is less correct than you. But they don't think so. Otherwise, they'd be correct. Definitionally. Do I ever have states of idleness? Yeah, I'm plenty idle. I'm not trying to not be idle at the moment. But that's different than abiding something. Or, it's a matter of one's position statement on things. Position statements aren't necessary for, it's not necessary to do things to have position statements, to affirm and negate position statements, But I didn't come here this morning to be correct. Hi, I love Shelley. I think the perception of you being happy and easygoing came from your past dreams of shooting the shit and just saying random things about being hot. I mean, I never just say random things. Like, what are you talking about? Things I say are correct, right? People come in and they say random things like you just said, and then I correct them. That happens a lot. Being high had nothing to do with anything. I mean, I'm easygoing when I'm not faced with continual wrongness. Depends on my mood, I guess. I'm in a good mood this morning, goodish mood. I've been depressed for like a week pretty much. That name brand Adderall really kicked the shit out of me. It's amazing how different it is. You know, you'd think it should be the same thing, but it's not at all. Well, this is the in-between week. So, you know, it takes me 2 weeks to go through a month's worth of Adderall. Then I have a week of sleepy week. Then I have a week of regular week. This is regular week right now. This is regular Eric, which is obviously not that exciting. I've got old man problems right now, like my elbows are hurting. Hi, Avery. You know, during wakeful weeks, I was getting a lot of work done on the pond, but my left elbow is still kind of sore. Before, my right elbow was sore. Then I started prioritizing using my left arm more to take it easy on my right elbow. Now both elbows are sore. So, you know, old man problems. Earlier this morning, like 4 a.m. or so, a little before 4 a.m. probably, I saw some odd flashes of light in the sky. It was like almost like lightning, but there's not a cloud in the sky. It's completely clear. It wasn't lightning because there's no. I mean, maybe if it was far away lightning, I guess it could have been lightning because it does say we're supposed to get rain starting at 6 or 6:30. That's like an hour from now. Probably it was lightning. Now that I saw the weather forecast. But when I looked up, I saw 0 clouds in the sky, just stars everywhere you could look, and then there were these odd flashes of light. But I guess maybe they were distant lightning. Since the forecast does show us getting rain in an hour and a half. And you know, I can't see every direction. So if it was from somewhere on the sides behind the trees where there are clouds, then I wouldn't have been able to see them. How about the neighbors are up and going to work early? Probably Kay, I would guess. I think Jared doesn't typically work early mornings. But I don't really know their schedule. It would be great if I could see a UFO. I'd love to see some, but I haven't seen any UFOs. My whole life, I've never seen one UFO. What's up with that? I've never seen a Sasquatch. I've never seen a UFO. I've also never seen a ghost. Although I think I felt a ghost one time. But I'm not sure if it was a ghost or not. It might have been a ghost. It's hard to say when you feel something grab your back of your foot back down to the ground. What that is. Well, seeing UFOs would be absolutely terrifying considering the possibilities. Do you feel your father's presence in your old house after he passed? I felt, I felt him. I didn't feel his presence really, but that when I was going from the car to his funeral, stepping up onto the sidewalk, I felt this. Felt like like a hand or something pulling my foot back down to the ground. As I was stepping up onto the curb. That was a weird experience, but it was a weird time. I just felt about that old house, like, get me the fuck out of here. I don't know why, but I just hated it. By the time I had lived there with my dad the last couple of years of his life, I was so done with that place. I don't miss that place at all, really. I mean, there's a sense of like my childhood home no longer is. It's kind of a similar sense that I got when my parents sold my grandmother's house, which wasn't that far from our house. Sense of, hey, our space isn't our space anymore. What's going on? But what's made that transition for me quite easy is this home is absolutely just lights out. Everything about it is amazing. I can't imagine. I don't know how we got so fortunate, because it's not like Rachel and I. Katie, I don't want you up here right now. Get away. Go over there. It's not like we were good at picking out houses or something. We just got lucky and got an amazing house. It's like everything about it is amazing. Super well insulated, super well sound insulated. Would I consider that a paranormal experience? Well, yeah, it was paranormal in that it was not normal, and I don't have any normal explanation for it. But I recognize it as a subjective experience or subjective data. So I guess all paranormal experiences ultimately have to involve some amount of subjective data, or else they would be normal, right? I don't know what to make of it, When I don't know what to make of things, I don't really make anything of them. A lot of people need to have answers to things that they don't have answers to. And so they select an answer and just go with it. I don't feel that need. I'd rather the answer be, I don't know, if that's the correct answer. Rachel and I started doing a little harvesting and manicuring yesterday. We've got a few branches in the closet drying out from our first plant to reach maturity. Maybe it could use another few days, another week or so. I don't know. It seems pretty done to me. It smokes really good. It smokes clean, and it's stony, and it's one of our smallest, or the second smallest plant. It's pretty well done. So we're not going to yield a whole bunch off of it, but I like it. I don't know what we're going to have come up either. So because of the way that this past season played out, in terms of there being a late freeze that took out some of my initial crop of seedlings, I'm not really sure what came up and what didn't. I'm not sure. My cat's name, that cat was Capio. Capio is spelled Kapio. It means sweetheart in Hawaiian. The other cat's name is Trouble. Spelled Trouble. Trouble. Because he's nothing but trouble. I will show you the cats. There they are. Capio, the sweet kitty. She's on her box over there she likes to sit on. Trouble, he likes to be policeman and boss her around and stuff. Because he's a dick. So he's just kind of policing her at the moment. For no reason. Oh, that's right. I gave you the reason. It's because he's a dick. He's such a dick. He's so neurotic, too. That's probably why he's a dick, I guess. He's super possessive and jealous and territorial and awful. But he's also a sweet boy sometimes. Every once in a while, he'll be a sweet boy. Taking a couple vitamins here. Got 2 kinds of vitamin B, 6 and 12. This equals 1 vitamin B18. I guess it's going to be a hot day, even though it's only 5:15 in the morning. It's already 74 degrees. Hey, Winston's mom. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm doing fine. I am on a regular week now. I did not live stream even one time during Sleepy Week, the whole week. That's how lazy I felt. On a scale of 1 to lazy, I felt very lazy. What do you mean that's not on the scale? Does fruit make you anxious? I forgot to talk about the title of this. I noticed during Sleeping Week that having fruit makes me anxious. Just generally, having food that spoils makes me anxious. I'll get anxious about, I don't know, I did nothing once in a while. I had quite a miserable Sleepy Week, really. It's fair to say I was depressed during Sleepy Week. I blame the name brand Adderall, which the come down from which beat the shit out of both me and Rachel. Emotionally. She had a rough come down from it too, and she obviously didn't take it for nearly as long as I did. But I still don't really feel like totally recovered or anything. Hello, El Danny. Oh yeah, it was a big minus. I don't know. In general, I just feels like I need to work harder to get enough sleep these days. I don't stay asleep for as long or sleep as well as I used to. And ultimately, all the ups and downs of Adderall link to your sleep bank, whether you've got a sleep deficit or not, You know, my left arm feels a little sore still, even though it's been a week of not doing anything. I've pretty well cut out sugar from my diet, which I think is pretty helpful, but not completely. Like I, I'm having trouble cutting out the powdered coffee creamer, which has sugar in it. I'm very accustomed to having my coffee that way. So this Friday, I'm having fairly substantial dental surgery. They're removing 4 tooth roots. As the next step in the implant process, so that's likely to be kind of brutal Friday morning, but you know, it'll be okay. I've had multiple teeth pulled before, so I have some experience to reference. Anyway, not a big fan of all of the physical developments of getting older. Like, you know, my eyes continuing to be not great. No, the tooth putting process is not as pleasurable as the pond putting process. I may put some pond today. I haven't touched it, but it's not a terrible day to do that. Although I guess it's supposed to be hot today. Probably, I do have my glasses with me. I don't have my cigarettes with me. There's only one left in that pack anyway. Alright. Let's go out back. Just turn on the lights. It's still so dark out. Smells nice out here. Smells foresty. There's a forest. I don't know if you can see it or not. Got a real forest of harvest coming in. That'll be nice. We're gonna have plenty of jars of weed. Hopefully it'll last a whole year. But we'll have to see how it plays out. The sound of one lonely cricket. Oh, there's a lot of crickets. Well, they're probably getting ready to go to sleep for the day, I would guess. Assuming crickets are nocturnal, since you hear them at night. Oh, is there one right here? Yeah, we should have a good harvest this year. Um, if it's going to last us a year, it needs to be twice as big as last year's harvest, which only lasted us 6 months. So, is it? Maybe. We've got, yeah, I'd say it's probably about that. I've got 9 plants, and they've gotten quite big, you know. Like, the tallest of them is way above the top of my arm. So, like, this one is so tall. I have to lift up the whole tripod so just you can see the top of it. So, you know, we just have to see how it all comes out. Last year I was able to figure out what weed which plant was eventually. This year, I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure that out. I'm not sure if any two are the same yet or not either. There's one of the 9 that's a very small plant that's going to yield almost very little. It seems to be the latest bloomer as well. So, I don't know, maybe that's Jack or something. Because Jack I know is super late blooming. Yeah, looking juicy. There was another one of those flashes of light in the sky. Hi, Two Grab. How's it going? I guess, it's probably lightning because supposedly we're going to get rain. I don't see any stars or anything at the moment either. We do have a wildfire 30 miles from us, according to Microsoft Weather. Almost certainly lightning started. Tuesday morning, huh? Yeah, there's definitely, that's gotta be lightning. I'm gonna turn off these lights to see if you guys can see. Okay, so now you're kind of looking up at the sky. You can't really see anything, but maybe if you see a flash of light, then you'll see it. I hear the wind chimes, which suggests perhaps the breeze is picking up. Well, thanks a lot, Sky. Thanks for not flashing now that I turned the lights off. What an uncooperative Sky you are. There it goes. Did you see it? I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Oh, there it goes again. I don't hear any thunder, so if it is lightning, it's got to be very far away. No, I do see stars directly above us. Not sure where, but over there I don't. I guess the clouds must be over there. Alright, trouble. Alright, guys, we gotta watch the cat eat. There's some chores that you just have to do. And watching the cat eat is one of them. Otherwise, he'll get very fussy at me. Kapita looks like she needs more food. So I'm gonna give her more food. Okay. Capio had more food. Good morning, Jeremiah Fix. Of course, during Sleepy Week, at least this past one, I was so lazy that, like the house gets kind of gross because I stopped cleaning up and stuff. Now I feel a strong impetus to clean, especially the floors, which are just gross. But I don't quite have that much get up and go yet. I still need more sleep, really. You need to sleep for like a good long chunk of sleep. I keep getting up every couple hours. Oh yes, what a silly boy. What a silly boy, McGilly boy. Yes. Yes, you are a silly boy. Yes, and Daddy knows. Look at all this fucking hair. It's ridiculous. Alright, let me get you some new water. Here you go. Oh yes. So thirsty. So good. It's a real water-loving cat right there. This cat, she doesn't necessarily drink right after she eats. Trouble always drinks right after he eats. Okay. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do right now. feel like I should do some chores or something, but I'm not really feeling it. Maybe I just go back to bed. That's certainly a plausible alternative. I'll refill my coffee. Add a little bit more of this unsweetened oat milk. Why unsweetened oat milk? Well, I'm cutting sugar out of my diet. I've got a pretty good calorie diet. And I would say that unsweetened oat milk is quite good. It's not bad at all. The tricky thing about oat milk is that oats have extremely small nipples, so it's hard to milk them. Ba-da-ba-ba. Well, what have we here? Hello. Over there we've got a silly kitty. Sitting on her box, cleaning herself. She's still sitting on that same hat box, Winston's mom. Uh-oh. Here comes Kitty. I gave her too much attention. Now she's coming over for pets. All right, you can come for pets. Yes, you're a silly cat. Yes, a very silly cat. The kind you don't take home to mother. Let's search for a solution. Your typing sessions are really cool. I've learned quite a bit from them. Glad to hear it. Thank you for saying so. Let's search for a solution. Oh, yes. What a sweet kitty. Yes, you're my sweetie Bo Petey. Give me the head push. She likes to deny me what I most want from her. Yeah, she's a very pattable kitty. How should one get their dual type to pay attention to them? I don't really know. I guess it would depend if you're the introvert or the extrovert. It would depend on the specific types even. I have heard before, read from some socionics thing once that that the extroverts likely to sort of not notice the introvert, and the introverts likely to underestimate their chances of being interesting to the extrovert, or something like that. Yes, yes, Daddy knows. Daddy knows. And Daddy loves. Oh, yes, what a good kitty. What a special feline friend. Such a special feline friend. Yes. Daddy knows. he does. What a fine and decent kitty you are. Yes, fine and decent. You are a fine and decent kitty. I used to tell my children to act interested as opposed to trying to be interesting, if that makes sense, because it did to me. Um, yeah, well, I mean, that's, it makes sense as a thing to say, but I think it depends on, it's like, it's the introvert's strategy in general, which is probably a better FE approach, but oh, kitty. Daddy wants a head push. Give me the head push. Give it to me. Come on. Give it to me. Give me the head push. You don't want to. Give it to me. Oh, thank you. Oh, yes, thank you. Yeah, listen longer is good advice in general. But I guess it depends on a lot of factors. Ultimately, advice is always best customized to an individual, right? Like the good advice for me is not necessarily good advice for other people, depending on what their strengths and weaknesses are and where they can make change and where they can't, you know? Because people have areas where they can legitimately make change and areas which are implicit to who they are, which they can't change or attempt to change without violating some fundamental rule of be yourself and not somebody else, right? Be like yourself, be what you're like, because we're having a wonderful time, but I'd rather be whistling in the dark, whistling in the dark, whistling in the dark, whistling in the dark. I think there's something to speaking to someone's third slot, eternal child. Yeah, I mean, it's the scorecard function, so people kind of tend to evaluate their own success or failure based on that. FE third's not a great thing to have third. Oh, cattiness. Why do you want so many pets? Why? Is it because you need 1 million pets? All right, well, I guess I'm going to wrap this up and watch a little TV and try to go back to bed. So thanks for being here, you guys, and I'll see you next time.